Although we do not know the price of a ticket, the actual price doesn't affect the percentage since the ratios will stay consistent. So for this problem, we can pick an example price that's easy to work with. Let's go ahead and pick, let's say that the February ticket cost is $10. This would then mean that the March ticket cost would be $10 times 110% since it's being raised by 10%. If we do this math out, this would actually end up being $11. So we can use these values to set up an equation that represents the percentage decrease in revenue in March from its revenue in February. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that equation might look like. This equation will be the percent decrease in revenue in March. And that's going to go ahead and equal 100%, which would be the amount of revenue compared to February, 100% of February, minus the revenue in March over the revenue in February. This would be our equation for the decrease in revenue in March. So plugging in these numbers, let's go ahead and continue with this equation. We have 100% minus our revenue in March would be 90, since it's 90 tickets, times the cost, which would be $11, since we're still using that example, over, in a similar fashion we have for February, 120 times the cost. In our example, we're using 10. And remember, these costs, we just picked convenient values for ourselves, since the ratios are still going to hold no matter what the actual cost was. Simplifying this a little bit, we have 100% still minus, the numerator will be 33 and the denominator will end up being 40. Now, before we can subtract percentages, we would need to divide 33 by 40, getting a decimal value, and change it to a percent, since we need all of the units to be the same for us. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to scroll over here to continue our equation. We end up with 100% minus 82.5%. These are nice values that we can actually subtract, and we'll end up with 17.5%. And remember, this equation represents the decrease in revenue in March. So the decrease in revenue in March, which is what we're looking for, what percent less is the February and March, or the revenue in March compared to the revenue in February, would be 17.5%. That would be answer choice C.